It all started on October 3rd, 2024, just another regular Thursday. People across the globe were scrolling TikTok, streaming shows, checking emails, and then everything stopped. For precisely 3 minutes, the internet as we knew it flatlined. Major websites went dark. Messaging apps froze. Financial systems glitched. Some streaming services showed nothing but static. The world didn't know it yet, but this blackout wasn't a malfunction. It was a message. And the sender? A 17-year-old kid from a suburb in Denmark. Please subscribe to the channel to support what we do and help us keep digging into these hidden stories. Now let's dive in. His name was never officially released, but on forums, he's known as C4TCH, a tech prodigy, expelled from school 2 years prior for breaching the local school board servers, just for fun. No one took him seriously back then. That would change very quickly. According to leaked Europol documents, the teen spent 2 years quietly building something unthinkable. A distributed denial-of-service network made entirely from hacked smart devices. Baby monitors, fridges, smart thermostats, even electric toothbrushes. He didn't just hack computers. He hijacked the future. What made C4TCH terrifying wasn't the scale of his attack. It was the precision. He targeted root-level DNS servers. These are like the address books of the internet. If they go down, everything goes down. For 3 full minutes, global connectivity bent to his will. And then, just as quickly, he let go. No ransom, no demands. Just one sentence posted moments later to a dark web board. Now do you see how fragile your world is? Governments went into panic mode. Cybersecurity firms scrambled for answers. Was this the beginning of a cyber war? A test run for something bigger? But all signs kept pointing to the same unlikely source. A teenager with no military connections, no deep state affiliation, just raw, unfiltered genius. He had built his own encryption protocols, masked his digital signature with constantly morphing IPs. His infrastructure was so advanced that it took months before investigators could even trace it back to the region he lived in. During that 3-minute blackout, over $47 billion in automated trades were frozen. One Swiss bank reported a glitch that cost them over $300 million in delayed transactions. TikTok and Instagram both experienced partial data corruption. Uber's internal system rerouted thousands of drivers to empty locations. Even Amazon's AWS servers logged anomalies they still haven't fully explained. While the world lost its mind, C4TCH watched in silence. No live stream, no bragging, just observation. He didn't want money, he wanted attention, and not in the influencer sense. He wanted people to understand how everything we rely on rests on code written by people who barely sleep. He wasn't trying to destroy, he was trying to warn. But that didn't stop global agencies from hunting him like a terrorist. A Europol cyberforensics unit tracked suspicious activity to a small Danish town. Raids began. Homes were searched. Devices were confiscated. But C4TCH had already disappeared, leaving only a trail of scrambled metadata, a single burned-out laptop, and a chilling audio message embedded in its SSD. This wasn't an attack. It was a rehearsal. People began calling it the 3-minute eclipse. It became a meme, then a conspiracy theory, then a serious point of debate in cybersecurity circles. Some experts speculated that he had help, maybe a rogue AI, maybe ex-military coders. But others who studied his work insist this was solo, which made it even scarier. 2 months later, another message appeared online, embedded in a broken JavaScript string on a forgotten .onion site. It read, "Next time, I won't be so gentle." It was signed with a hash, identical to the one from the first message. Same digital fingerprint. It was him. But instead of panic, this time the internet responded with fascination. C4TCH became an underground icon. Stickers with his logo started popping up on college campuses. Anonymous fan pages emerged. Some kids started calling him the digital Robin Hood. Even though he never stole or gave anything away, his message wasn't about money. It was about control. Meanwhile, governments began tightening cybersecurity laws in response. Internet service providers were forced to implement stricter firewall protocols. But some insiders say these security upgrades were more about surveillance than safety. Fear of another C4TCH-style blackout gave them the excuse they needed to dig deeper into your data. In February 2025, a cybersecurity convention in Berlin featured a closed-door presentation that claimed C4TCH had been caught. But no official statement ever followed. A month later, a university student in Poland was arrested for cybercrimes and quietly released. Rumors swirled that he was a decoy, someone C4TCH used to mislead investigators. Despite the global manhunt, no confirmed photo of the real hacker has ever surfaced. All that remains is his digital shadow. And every so often, a new message appears on forums, short, cryptic, always from an account that self-destructs after posting. The latest one simply read, "What would you do if I hit the satellites?" It's no longer a joke. In 2024, a teenager with a few years of coding experience proved that the entire internet, a system billions rely on every second, can be brought to its knees in under 3 minutes. That's not fiction. That's history. And it begs the question, if one teenager can hold the world hostage for 3 minutes, what happens when someone more dangerous tries it for real? C4TCH's background didn't exactly scream cyber mastermind. He came from a quiet neighborhood, raised by a single mother who worked 2 jobs. Most people who knew him described him as introverted, always buried in a laptop, but polite. One teacher even said he was the type of student you'd forget was in the room. But what no one saw was the obsession growing in his mind, an obsession with systems, with patterns, and with breaking the unbreakable. Started small, cracking his school's Wi-Fi password at age 12, writing scripts to skip video ads at 13. At 14, he built his own private search engine just so he could browse without being tracked. But by 15, he wasn't just curious. He was angry at how powerless people were in the face of giant tech empires. Angry that no one seemed to realize how easily all of it could fall apart. He began infiltrating online communities, white hat, gray hat, even a few black hat circles. He wasn't there to join. He was there to learn, to absorb techniques, strategies, mindset. He started combining open source tools in ways no one expected. He made his own malware, not to steal, but to understand. It was like he was dissecting the internet's nervous system just to see how it twitched. The thing is, no one noticed. His attacks were subtle, experimental. He'd breach a small company, map their internal network, then silently back out. He wasn't there for damage. He was training. Every exploit, every vulnerability he found became part of his personal blueprint. A digital war map pieced together in secret. He called it Project Blink. According to decrypted files left behind, that was the code name for the 3-minute blackout. It wasn't meant to destroy. It was a wake-up call. The idea was to show the world how much power is concentrated in fragile systems, and how easy it is for a single outsider to exploit them. During this time, C4TCH also began designing custom encryption tools. Unlike anything used in mainstream cryptography, these weren't made to hide data, they were designed to erase footprints. Every action he took on the web was logged, masked, rerouted, then shredded in seconds. He didn't just avoid detection, he erased the concept of a trail. His digital infrastructure was spread across dozens of countries. Botnets hidden in household appliances. Backup command servers disguised as gaming update pings. He even piggybacked off weather station data relays to send encrypted signals. No one had seen anything like it, not from a nation-state, let alone a teenager. In interviews after the attack, one cybersecurity expert admitted, "We thought we were ready for the next Stuxnet. What we weren't ready for was a kid with a grudge and a brain wired like a quantum computer. What pushed him over the edge is still debated." Some say it was a forum argument with a self-proclaimed cybersecurity guru who mocked him publicly. Others point to a glitch in his school records that erased months of progress and led to his expulsion. There's even a theory that his internet was throttled by his ISP after he streamed too much. Something that may have felt like a personal insult. Whatever the reason, one thing's clear. When C4TCH went dark in September 2024, he wasn't disappearing. He was preparing. The blackout wasn't a last-minute stunt. It was the final chapter of a 2-year plan. The day of the attack, servers around the globe lit up with unusual traffic. But it wasn't flagged. That was the genius. He'd trained the system to ignore him. His bots mimicked normal behavior. Web crawlers, security scans, even SEO analysis tools. No one saw it coming because it looked exactly like everything else. Then the DNS root servers buckled. There were only 13 of them globally, and they were the backbone of the internet. He hit 11. 2 remained untouched, deliberately. He wanted people to know it could have been worse. In those 3 minutes, hospitals had to reroute emergency data through outdated protocols. Flights grounded temporarily. Some stock trades disappeared into the void. Facebook's internal Slack shut down mid-crisis, leaving their engineers scrambling without communication. Even streaming services like Netflix and YouTube froze, not from bandwidth overload, but from authentication timeouts. The services were fine, but the systems verifying your access? Toast. The Pentagon reportedly initiated cyber-defensive protocols reserved for state-level attacks. China and Russia began scanning their own networks, fearing a foreign operation. For 3 minutes, the internet became Schrödinger's cat. Alive, but technically dead. The only reason the chaos didn't spiral into a meltdown was because C4TCH stopped. Clean, precise, intentional. Like a magician pulling the cloth from under a tower of glasses without breaking a thing. But he did leave clues. Hidden in the corrupted packet data from the attack, researchers found code written in a signature style. Variables named after obscure sci-fi references. Error handling functions shaped like jokes. He wanted them to see his fingerprints, just not the kind they could use in court. And what did he do after the attack? He didn't celebrate. He didn't cash in. He vanished. All his known accounts went dark. VPNs went cold. Even his decoy servers shut down in perfect sync, like dominoes falling in reverse. Except, one account came online 72 hours later. It posted a single sentence. "I'm not a threat. I'm a mirror." Then it deleted itself. That sentence sparked a frenzy of analysis. Was it a manifesto? A warning? A clue? Reddit theorists compared it to anarchist philosophy. Others said it was a trap, a way to lure him out. But nothing else came. Silence. Interpol classified him as a cyber anomaly. Not a criminal. Not a terrorist. Something new. A digital ghost. Their internal memo, later leaked, said, "If he's 17 now, imagine what he could do at 25. Some governments even considered recruiting him. Off the record, of course. The logic being, if you can't catch the ghost, you hire him. But no one could find him. Not even close. Meanwhile, copies of Project Blink began circulating in underground circles. No code, just descriptions. Philosophies, like an open letter to the world. He called the internet a skyscraper built on sand. And humans? Tenants in a building they don't understand. It's also rumored that C4TCH tested a second tool, a failsafe designed to collapse not just websites but protocols. Something capable of brute-forcing entire layers of the web offline. Experts dubbed it Black Thread. Whether it exists is still unknown. But in January 2025, an internal Google alert detected a simulation matching the parameters of Black Thread. The source? Untraceable, but familiar. For a while, it looked like the panic had died down. People went back to scrolling, streaming, swiping. But under the surface, the internet changed. More surveillance, more monitoring, less freedom. And still, every few weeks, a new username shows up in coding forums. Silent, observing, leaving just enough behind to be noticed and feared. Security companies now train their employees using models of C4TCH's methods. They call it thinking asymmetrically, learning to see not just the tools, but the intentions behind them. Some believe he's done, that it was a one-time statement. Others believe he's evolving, watching the systems react, preparing something bigger. One cybersecurity analyst said, "We're lucky he was just a teenager with a point to prove. Next time, we might not be so lucky." And that brings us back to the biggest question of all. If one teenager with no army, no funding, no access, could hold the entire internet hostage for 3 minutes, what does that say about the world we've built? Is it secure? Or are we all just waiting for the next blink? Because in the end, it wasn't just a blackout. It was a warning, one that may have come from the most dangerous kind of mind. Not evil, not greedy, but brilliant and angry. The world hasn't heard from C4TCH in months. But every cybersecurity expert knows he's still out there, watching, learning, waiting, and maybe planning the next rehearsal. If you made it this far, thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel for more stories they don't want you to know.